Well, we have been getting you all the updates on the militant attack that has taken place at an army camp in Uri, and we're getting some very unfortunate bit of news. 3 Jawans have been martyred and 18 others have sustained injuries in the terror attack in Uri's sector of Jammu and Kashmir. Para-commandos of the army were seen airdropping at Uri, where this fierce encounter is presently underway to neutralize 3 to 4 terrorists who stormed the 12th Army Brigade headquarters just near the line of control. In fact, this attack took place as early as 5:30 in the morning, and what we are getting to hear is that 3 to 4 terrorists are holed up inside the Army headquarters in Uri.
The attack on the brigade headquarters in Uri sector is, of course, a very, very shameful incident. Shameful incident from the sense that it's not shame on Pakistan. The question is, Pakistan is doing it, and we know it. Pakistan has been sponsoring these terrorist activities for so many years, and attack on the army headquarters, army camps is not a very, very new thing. It has been happening. So question is, why have our commanders failed to take appropriate security measures?
I want to go straight now to India Today's Shuja ul Haq, who has been getting us up to speed with the very latest developments. Shuja, very unfortunate news of 3 Jawans losing their lives. Is the encounter still going on, and do we know the number of militants who are holed up inside the army camp?
Well, that's right, Avantika. The encounter is very much going on at this point of time. In fact, from what we can gather is that there is gunfight that is being heard even as we speak. We've been told that these militants could be between 3 to 4, and it was around 5:30 in the morning when they launched this attack. They managed to breach the outer cordon and entered into the camp, and it was because of the initial surprise attack that most of the damage took place. At this point of time, we are given to understand that more than 16 Jawans have suffered injuries. 6 of them are still critical. Unconfirmed reports though suggest that 3 may have succumbed to the injuries. Most of these Jawans have been airlifted to 92 base hospital in Srinagar, and the encounter at this point of time is going on. We've also been told by our sources that the quick reaction teams of the army, were set into action immediately after the attack took place. But the militants definitely had the advantage of, launching an attack in a surprise manner, and that's why this damage could be incurred right in the beginning.
Okay, stay with me. Executive Editor, India Today, Gaurav Sawant is also with us. Gaurav, this is the 12th Brigade headquarters. Isn't this a major security lapse? How could these militants just storm into the brigade headquarters and, start firing indiscriminately?
That lapse will be a matter of investigation, but at this point of time, we have Army's Special Forces who've already reached the 12th Brigade headquarters. It was at the outer cordon where the initial firefight took place, but that is where the Army should have been prepared for this surprise, because just 4 days ago, it was Army's own intelligence that had warned of terrorists launching a spectacular strike. In fact, we broke that story at India Today on India First about terrorists launching a spectacular strike ahead of Pakistan's Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's address at the United Nations General Assembly, because Pakistan wants to grab international headlines. So there was a warning that the army will be targeted. There was a warning that military convoys or civilian convoys or CRPF, they would be targeted by Pakistani terrorists. So all of this was well known. But now it's a matter of investigation. From what our sources tell us, unfortunately, the death toll could be higher than what is being initially said, because the surprise was such that these battle-hardened terrorists succeeded in entering the army camp, at least breaching the first perimeter, the first cordon, and then striking. So much so that there are reports that indicate that the Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh has either cancelled or deferred his visit to the United States of America and Russia. So this is the magnitude of the crisis that we are talking about at this stage, Avantika.
Absolutely. And Shuja ul Haq is also with us. Shuja, you just mentioned about the quick reaction teams already arriving. Can you just give us an update on the situation at the ground presently? What is happening? Obviously and understandably, the entire area, would have been cordoned off. But what are the additional resources that are heading to the headquarters?
Well, Avantika, we have to understand the location of this particular camp. It is, very near to the line of control, very heavily, fortified and guarded. There is a huge presence of military. The army has a brigade headquarters there, which clearly in itself suggests the kind of forces that would be present there. But at this point of time, we're given to understand that para commandos have been rushed. They are already, engaging these militants in an encounter. We're also been told by our sources that these militants have been pushed towards a corner. So far, we don't know exactly their exact number, but sources are suggesting that it is between 3 to 4. And their pinpointed locations have not been mentioned, but we are already given to understand that they have been pushed towards a particular section of the camp. It is a matter of time before, before we can say that the army has taken control, but one only has to, wait before how much damage they can incur before the encounter is over. But so far, some casualties have taken place. The sources are fearing that there could be more casualties. Number of, army personnel injured is around 16, but they are suggesting that there could be more. Most of them have been airlifted to the specialty hospital in Srinagar.
Okay, just stay with me. We're getting in a lot of reactions. We have right now a reaction of the retired brigadier and defense expert P.K. Sehgal. Let's just listen into that.